Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Today we are looking at a coin that might be sitting in your change right now, but some collectors would pay hundreds of dollars for the right one. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar celebrates 200 years of American independence, but there's more to it than just a commemorative date. Here's the deal. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what makes this bicentennial half dollar special, the subtle details that make certain coins rare, and a few minting quirks that can make a coin go from ordinary to highly collectible. Stick around, because the auction prices for the finest examples might surprise you. Let's start with the front. When the camera zooms in, you'll see the familiar profile of President John F. Kennedy facing left. Above his head is Liberty, and just below his neck is the dual date, 1776 to 1976. This dual date was added to mark the bicentennial, a unique feature that only appears on this series of coins. Near the date, look for a small mint mark, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. These letters can make a big difference for collectors. Now flip the coin over, because this is where the design really changes. Instead of the traditional presidential seal, the reverse features Independence Hall in Philadelphia. The camera slowly pans across the detailed clock tower and building structure. Around the top edge you'll see United States of America, and near the bottom is half dollar. The Independence Hall design was chosen because this is where the Declaration of Independence was debated and signed. The coin is a tiny piece of history you can hold in your hand. Millions of these coins were minted, but collectors still pay attention to a few specific details. First, the mint location matters. Coins from San Francisco struck in 40% silver were released in special collector sets. These coins are inherently more valuable due to both silver content and limited numbers. Next, look for subtle minting errors. Some coins show doubled lettering, where words like Liberty or United States of America appear slightly doubled. Others might have small die cracks, weak strikes, or off-center impressions. These tiny quirks, when found in good condition, can dramatically increase collector interest. Condition is everything. Circulated coins often have scratches and wear, but uncirculated coins with crisp details on Kennedy's hair in Independence Hall can sell for significantly more. The camera can zoom in to highlight the sharp lines and smooth surfaces, giving viewers a clear view of what makes a coin uncirculated. So, what's the value? A typical circulated 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar usually trades for about 50 cents to $2. Uncirculated examples can fetch $5 to $15 depending on quality. Silver collector coins from San Francisco often sell for $10 to $20. The rarest, high-grade examples certified by professional grading services have sold at auction for several $100s, and in exceptional cases, approaching $1,000. Now here's a question for you. Do you own a bicentennial Kennedy half dollar? And if you could add one coin to your collection, which one would it be? The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar isn't just currency. It's history in your hand, a tribute to 200 years of American independence, and a coin that continues to fascinate collectors decades later. Top 2. Today we are diving into a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but some collectors would pay big money for the right one. The 1972 D Kennedy half dollar may seem like just another 50-cent piece, but it has a story, a few hidden details, and even some rare varieties that make it a must-see for collectors. Here's what's coming up. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what makes this coin unique, the details that can make it rare, and a few minting quirks that could turn a simple half dollar into a collectible worth hundreds. Stick around, because the auction prices for the best examples are pretty eye-opening. Let's start with the front of the coin. Zoom in, and you'll see the familiar profile of President John F. Kennedy facing left. Above his head is Liberty, and across the lower edge you'll notice "In God We Trust." Just below his neck is the date, 1972. Now, the mint mark, D for Denver, is tucked near the base of the neck. This tiny letter can make a big difference for collectors, because coins from Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco all have different rarities and values. Keep an eye on it as we go. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the classic Kennedy half dollar reverse, a heraldic eagle with a shield on its chest, clutching arrows, and an olive branch, with 13 stars arranged above its head. United States of America arcs along the top, and half dollar sits at the bottom. Zooming in shows the detail in the feathers and the shield, a level of craftsmanship that coin enthusiasts love to examine closely. Now here's where the coin starts getting interesting. The 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar is made of 40% silver. That means even the metal content alone makes it more valuable than its face value. But beyond silver, collectors are drawn to subtle minting variations. Some coins have doubled lettering, die cracks, or weak strikes, where parts of the design look slightly softer than others. These imperfections may seem minor, but they can turn an everyday coin into a collectible. Condition plays a huge role too. Coins that were used in circulation often show wear and scratches, but uncirculated examples with sharp detail on Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers are much rarer. A close-up B-roll showing the coin's surface really helps highlight these details. So what's the real market value? A circulated 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar typically sells for around $6 to $10, thanks to its silver content. Uncirculated coins can go for $20 to $50, depending on condition. High-grade examples certified by professional grading services can reach several $100s at auction. The rarest coins, especially those with notable mint errors, have been known to fetch even more. Here's a question for you. Do you own a 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar? And if you could add one coin to your collection, which one would it be? This coin isn't just currency. It's a piece of history, a silver half dollar that connects us to the 1970s, and a collectible that continues to fascinate coin enthusiasts decades later. Top 3. Today we are looking at a coin that might be sitting in your pocket right now, but it holds a secret many people don't know. The 1967 Kennedy half dollar looks ordinary at first glance, but collectors consider some of these coins to be hidden treasures, and certain examples have sold for hundreds of dollars. Here's the interesting part. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why this coin is unique, the subtle details that make it rare, and a few minting quirks that can turn an everyday half dollar into a collectible worth serious money. Stay with me, because by the end, you might want to check your own change. Let's start with the front. Zoom in and you'll see the familiar portrait of President John F. Kennedy facing left. Above his head is Liberty, and across the lower edge is "In God We Trust." Just below his neck is the date, 1967. One key thing to notice here is that coins from this year no longer contain silver in the same way earlier halves did. Instead, 1967 Kennedy half dollars were made with a 40% silver composition, which already gives them intrinsic value beyond their 50-cent face. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the classic reverse design, a heraldic eagle with a shield on its chest, clutching arrows, and an olive branch. 13 stars arch above its head, and around the edge are the words United States of America and half dollar. A close-up shot really brings out the detail in the feathers and shield, showing the craftsmanship that collectors love to study. Now here's where it gets more interesting. The 1967 Kennedy half dollar was struck at 3 different mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. There's no mint mark for Philadelphia, a small D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. These mint locations can significantly affect the coin's rarity and value, especially if the coin is in uncirculated condition. Collectors also hunt for minting errors. Some coins from 1967 show doubled lettering, die cracks, or slightly off-center strikes. These small quirks, when found in good condition, can turn a standard half dollar into a highly sought-after collector's item. If the camera zooms closely on the letters or the eagle's feathers, you can see how subtle differences make certain coins stand out. Condition is another critical factor. Circulated coins often show wear, scratches, or dulled surfaces. But uncirculated coins with sharp details, bright luster, and no marks can sell for far more than typical circulation coins. High-grade examples from 1967 are still highly collectible because they represent the first year after the U.S. Mint removed silver from the majority of Kennedy halves, making them historically significant. So, what's the real value? A circulated 1967 Kennedy half dollar is usually worth around $2 to $3 today because of its silver content. Uncirculated coins can range from $15 to $50, depending on condition. High-grade examples certified by professional grading companies can fetch several $100s at auction, and coins with notable errors or exceptional surfaces may go even higher. Now I want to ask you, do you own a 1967 Kennedy half-dollar? And if you could add one rare coin to your collection, which one would it be? The 1967 Kennedy half-dollar isn't just a piece of currency. It's a glimpse into history, a coin that reflects changes in American minting practices, and a collectible that continues to capture attention decades later. Top 4. Today we are looking at a coin that might seem ordinary if you pass it by at a store, but for collectors, the 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar is anything but ordinary. At first glance, it's just a 50-cent piece, but hidden in its details are features that can make certain coins highly sought after, and even fetch hundreds at auction. Here's what's coming up. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what makes the 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar unique, the subtle differences that can make one coin more valuable than another, and a few rare minting quirks that collectors love to hunt for. Stick around, because the right coin can be worth far more than face value. Let's start with the front. Zoom in, and you'll see the familiar profile of President John F. Kennedy facing left. Above his head is Liberty, and across the lower edge is "In God We Trust." The date 1973 sits just below Kennedy's neck, and the small D mint mark for Denver is placed nearby. That tiny letter is a key detail for collectors, because coins from different mints can vary in rarity and value. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the classic reverse design, the heraldic eagle with a shield on its chest, clutching arrows and an olive branch. 13 stars are arranged above the eagle's head, symbolizing the original 13 colonies, and around the edge are United States of America and half-dollar. Close-up B-roll shots of the eagle reveal the intricate details in the feathers and shield, which really stand out on well-preserved coins. Now, what makes this coin more than just silver and metal? The 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar was struck in 40% silver, making it valuable just for its content. But collectors look for more than silver. Some coins have minor minting errors, like doubled lettering or die cracks, and others have slightly off-center strikes. These small imperfections can make a coin highly collectible if it's in good condition. Condition is everything. Circulated coins will show scratches or wear on Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers, but uncirculated coins with sharp details and bright luster are far rarer. The camera can zoom in to highlight the difference between circulated and uncirculated coins, showing how much collectors value those crisp details. So what's the real market value? A typical circulated 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar is usually worth around $2 to $5 because of its silver content. Uncirculated examples can range from $15 to $40 depending on quality. Coins with mint errors or exceptional surfaces certified by professional grading companies can sell for a few $100s, especially if they show unusual doubling or other notable features. Now I want to ask you, do you own a 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar? And if you could add one rare coin to your collection, which one would it be? This coin isn't just money, it's a snapshot of American history, a collectible silver half-dollar, and a coin that continues to draw interest from collectors decades after it was minted. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment sharing any Kennedy half-dollars you found or hope to add to your collection. And before you go, check out the next video, because the next coin we explore might already be hiding in your change.